All right. This is book 5. We're going to start. Welcome. And we're going to start with lesson 1. We're going to get a quick review. Welcome, you guys. Hope everybody's safe. Okay. And this is lesson 1, understanding. Okay, if you guys like to follow, I'm going to read the lesson first. So we have, picture 1. Why is your sister crying? Wow, she's really upset. She had a big discussion with her fiancé last night. Isn't Tom going to Vegas with us? Not anymore. He's just going to drop by to wish us a nice trip. It's a pity he's not going. Will you be out of town this weekend? Actually, something came up and I'm staying home now. Aren't you worried about the wedding? It's next week. Not really. We got engaged a year ago, so all the preparations are ready. Wasn't your husband always saying that he was going to lose weight? Yes, he was. So why is he eating that pizza? Weren't you going to call off the meeting? Well, I was, but I decided to go through with it. I feel like I won't ever get over losing my job. Last week, I ran into an old friend at the market. Okay? So back to picture 1. So why is your sister crying? Okay? Wow, she's really upset. Okay? So the sister's crying in the kitchen, right? And upset. So other words for upset, we can say down, she's blue, depressed, maybe, right? So she's feeling really upset, and the girl doesn't know why. Now the boy answers, she had a big discussion with her fiancé last night. Okay? So a big discussion could be she had a big fight, a disagreement, right? A big discussion with her fiancé last night. Okay? So fiancé is when the person is engaged to be married. Okay, fiancé with 1 E is the male, and fiancé with 2 E's is the female. It's a French word, right? Fiancé. So she had a big fight with her fiancé last night. Okay? So, upset. So what upsets you? And for example, I feel upset, or I get upset maybe when it's raining too much. Well, I'm upset now because of the situation with what's happening with the world. And I think a lot of things upset people. People get upset when they have a fight, when the chocolate finishes, right? And yeah, do you remember the last time you were upset? Was it yesterday, last week, last month? Right? Okay. Well, picture 2. Isn't Tom going to Vegas with us? So here we have a negative question. This whole lesson is all negative questions. It's isn't, aren't, wasn't, or weren't. Right? For example, isn't she your sister? Or aren't you going to the party tonight? Right? It's kind of like, você não vai, você não quer. It's, like in Portuguese, like that. Wasn't your brother upset last night? Or weren't you home last night? You see, so it's all negative questions. So isn't Tom going to Vegas with us? Okay, Vegas, Las Vegas. And the woman, not anymore. He's just going to drop by to wish us a nice trip. Okay, so is Tom going to Vegas with them? No, he isn't. So not anymore. Okay, so he was going, but then you say not anymore. For example, an example with not anymore. Oh, I don't live in Rio de Janeiro anymore. Right? Maybe for girls, maybe, oh, I don't play with Barbies anymore. Right? So these are things that we used to do. I don't swim anymore. I stopped. So isn't Tom going to Vegas with us? Not anymore. He's just going to drop by to wish us a nice trip. So to drop by is a quick visit, right? It's like in Portuguese you say like it's a doctor's visit. So to drop by. You could drop by the supermarket to get some milk, to buy some milk. You can drop by a friend's house to see how he or she is doing, if he's okay. So to drop by, it's a quick visit. He's going to drop by to wish us a nice trip. So hey, have a nice trip. Enjoy yourselves in Las Vegas. I'm sorry I can't go. Right? And then at the end, the man said, it's a pity he's not going. So it's a pity. It's too bad. It's sad. Right? So an example with it's a pity. It's a pity that this is happening today in the world. It's a pity, there are kids in Africa with no food and no water to eat, right? We could also use the expression, what a pity. It's like, we're not going to have the picnic because it's raining today. Oh, what a pity. So that's too bad, right? Okay. In picture 3, will you be out of town this weekend? Okay, so out of town is out of the city. Out of town, we can say outa town, out of town. So will you be out of town on the weekend? Okay, so if I go to Canoinhas, I am out of town. So Mateus, Curitiba, I am out of town. So will you be out of town this weekend? And actually, something came up and I'm staying home now. Okay? So something came up, something happened. Something unexpected, right? Maybe his mom came to visit. Surprise, I'm here. And then, he's not going to go to Curitiba anymore. So aren't you going to Curitiba? Oh no, something came up. What happened? Oh, my mom came to visit. So something happened that you weren't waiting for. You weren't expecting. Something came up, and I'm staying home now. Okay, so is he going to be out of town on the weekend? No, he isn't. Why? Because something came up. Okay, something happened. Something came up. Picture 4. Aren't you worried about the wedding? It's next week. Okay, so the wedding, to be worried, the person's worried. A wedding is the marriage ceremony when the woman, the man is getting married, right? It's the whole process. It's at church and the party. It's the wedding, right? So she's saying, aren't you worried about the wedding? It's next week. And then, not really. We got engaged a year ago, so all the preparations are ready. Okay, so engaged is when you put the ring on the right hand, and you are engaged to be married. Okay? For the woman and man to be engaged, the man has to ask the woman a question. What is the question? Will you marry me? Right? And if she says yes, right? And then they put the ring here and they set the date to get married. Maybe in May. May is the month of the bride. The bride is the woman that's getting married. It's the bride's month, right? So she got engaged a year ago, right? So all the preparations are ready. So are all the preparations ready? Yes, they are. Why? Because they got engaged a year ago. Okay? When did they get engaged? They got engaged a year ago. Right? Okay, so is she worried about the wedding? No, she isn't. Why? Because they got engaged a year ago and all the preparations are ready. Everything is ready. No worries. Don't worry, be happy. I got picture 5. So wasn't your husband always saying that he was going to lose weight? Here's another negative question. Wasn't. So he was always saying, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight, right? Okay, to lose weight, right? To lose weight, you eat only salad. The opposite of to lose weight is to gain weight, to put on weight. If you eat pizza every day, you are going to put on weight, right? We need to exercise, we need to eat healthy food, right? So again, wasn't your husband always saying he was going to lose weight? And his wife, yes, he was. And so why is he eating that pizza? Right? So again, to lose weight, and we have the opposite is to put on weight or to gain weight. Right? Yeah, for me, I just look at the food and I don't have to eat. I just look at the food and 1 kilo, 2 kilos. Especially you go to that children's birthday party and you see those brigadeiros. Wow, it's a problem. In picture 6, we have, weren't you going to call off the meeting? Okay, so in the picture, they're having a meeting. Okay, a round table. It's a meeting. They're discussing ideas for work, maybe at school, right? It's a meeting, right? So to call off the meeting is to cancel. No more. So to call off, we called off the party because of the rain, right? So they called off, they're asking, weren't you going to call off the meeting? Because he was going to call off the meeting, to cancel the meeting. But the man, well, I was, but I decided to go through with it. So to go through with something is to do it. Is to do it, right? Weren't you going to buy a new house? And then maybe he was thinking about constructing his house, building his house. And said, yeah, I was going to buy a house, but I decided to go through with my construction. So to do it, to go through with it. You're thinking of studying English, and you're just thinking, and then finally you decide to go through with it, and you begin. Okay, so to go through with something is to begin. So, was he going to cancel the meeting? Yes, he was, but later he decided to go through with it, to do it. Right? And the man, I feel like I won't ever get over losing my job. Okay? So I feel like, it's the feeling, when you feel something. I feel like, I always like to say this in Portuguese. How do we say, well, I feel like is a lot of things. We can say in Portuguese, eu sinto como, and I feel like is also, eu estou com vontade de. If it's like doing something. I feel like eating a pizza. I feel like dancing. I feel like watching a movie. And the other one, eu me sinto como, I feel like I'm never going to pass the test. I feel like, right, it's a feeling. So I feel like I won't ever. Ever is in your life. When you use ever, it's in your life. So I feel like I won't ever get over losing my job. So he lost his job. We don't know what happened. But to get over something is to forget. To get over it. Forget the situation. But he feels like he won't ever get over losing his job. So he's never going to forget this fact that he lost his job. Right? Sometimes we feel like we're never going to get over something. We need to get over things. Maybe the boy and the girl had a fight, and they broke up, and the girl's crying. And 1 year later, she's still crying because of her boyfriend. Oh, I love him. And then her friends say, hey, Mary, get over it. So forget about it. Get over the situation. So, will he get over losing his job? Well, no, he won't. He feels like he won't get over. He won't ever get over losing his job. Yeah. Is there anything that you need to get over? Yeah. we're going to see, things that happen in our life. We'll continue thinking about it, and maybe it's the past. So get over it. And the last picture, last week I ran into an old friend at the market. Okay, ran is the past tense of run. Okay, so to run into someone is to meet someone unexpectedly. Okay, unexpectedly. You are not waiting to find this person, to meet the person where you're going, right? So this is past tense. So she ran into an old friend at the market. She met an old friend at the market. Hey, oh hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi Kelly, how are you? Wow. Right? And they haven't seen each other in a long time. So did she run into an old friend at the market? Yes, she did. When did she run into a friend at the market? Last week. Okay? So what happened last week? She ran into an old friend at the market. Do you remember the last time you ran into an old friend? Maybe last month, last year, right? Okay. And that is lesson 1, understanding. Thank you.